Hello, welcome to the Cloud Optimization Framework session. Hi, my name is Harish Godeti. I'm the founder of Cloud Optimize and welcome to my channel. Before we discuss our topic today about Cloud Optimization Framework, I want to share my story on how this all started. So I started my career in 2004 in tech support, and I started working in enterprise tech support from 2006 for CA Technologies. Then I moved to I did various roles, and then I moved to the US in 2013 and worked as a chief architect. And I have designed many solutions on both Azure and as well as AWS cloud. My specialty is around optimizing the cloud, or making sure the solutions that we build on top of the cloud on top of cloud are optimized to the best possible extent. So that's where that's what my job role was at that time. So in 2019, I moved back to India, and I wanted to, so as I want to become an entrepreneur and start my own thing. So I started serving small businesses and accounting firms, building systems that help them scale. I enjoyed the work. It's not that I did not enjoy. I enjoyed the work, but my mind was always on the cloud, thinking about the cloud developments, following the cloud, the journey of, different database events and stuff. So I said, okay, it's time for me to go ahead and leverage my skill set of the cloud and start serving clients on, who are using AWS. So that's how this all started. In 2019, moved back to India, started my own business, and now I'm starting to really build my business around the AWS cloud. So in 2023, so I made a decision to become a partner with AWS and start building my cloud business. So that's how, and this channel is really about sharing my expertise and helping AWS users to optimize, to maximize their return on investment on AWS. So AWS is huge. I totally understand AWS is huge, and it's impossible for one person to go ahead and explain everything, or to specialize on every aspect of AWS, because they keep adding services every day. So as I said, I specialize in scaling products on AWS cloud effectively. So my specialization is around AWS optimization, and that's exactly what I'm going to share on this channel. So I'm going to share strategies and tactics, and also a lot of experiments that I do to see what works and better than what I currently know. And so what I request is you can join me on my journey to turn Cloud Optimize into a leading AWS partner. So my effort on this channel is to give you the all the tactics and strategies that I use every day to figure out the best possible way to maximize the return on investment on from your AWS account or environment, right? So that's what this channel is about. So with that introduction, let's jump in to our topic today. So what is the problem that that I'm trying to solve, or what is the problem that this channel addresses and my services address? So here's the thing: startups and businesses who are scaling their workloads in on AWS, for that matter, any cloud, but I specialize in AWS. AWS will soon encounter the problems. Here are the problems that if you are scaling your operations, you will encounter. One, disorganized resources across all departments. When you start scaling, like, you'll be doing so much stuff that a lot of stuff will be disorganized. So that's one thing. Thing is manual administration of all AWS resources. So you'll probably provisioning AWS resources manually. You're probably troubleshooting them, deleting them, and doing all of that stuff manually. So that itself takes a huge amount of time to be able to do that. So that's the second challenge that you'll run into. Third one is a no documented process for provisioning, managing, and securing the resources. So basically, the management and governance piece will be missing initially when you scale your AWS operations, right? So that's the third one. Fourth one is no, as I said, no governance mechanisms. Basically, you don't have an audit. You don't, you don't have them in place. It's not that you don't want to do. It's just that you don't have it. So what the result would be, or the main thing that it all summarizes into, is high AWS costs every month or every year, depending on how you pay. So that's what you'll run into. These five problems are something that every business runs into when they start scaling their cloud operations or AWS workloads. But first, what we need to know is, how do we tackle this problem, right? So when businesses try to address these problems or tackle these problems, they make three mistakes, right? So the common mistakes. So what they do is, first is the mistake number one is really focusing only on reducing costs. And when you say, hey, I want to reduce my AWS costs, what you'll do is you'll focus on tactical solutions, and those won't work. You won't get the results that you desire. So that's the mistake number one. Mistake number two is you'll hire technical experts to solve complex non-technical challenges. So what I mean by that is, for example, governance, processes, all that stuff, you a technical expert can't really solve. Someone who really understands both the process side and also the technical side is the person who can solve those challenges, right? Then the mistake number three is you try to delegate the cloud responsibilities of the cloud to end users. So end users, for example, if you are a product company, if you are building a product on AWS and you delegate all the AWS responsibilities to your end users, their main job is to build your product and really launch it, build the new versions of it, release it and stuff. If you delegate that responsibility to them, your growth will slow down, and also they won't enjoy their work because they don't want to really be AWS specialists. If they want, that would have been their career. Why are they building a product, right? So that those are the three common mistakes which, from my experience, which I believe is the first thing that people do when they try to optimize the cloud. So what are we going to do about it? So what is the solution that I propose, or what I believe will work? Here's the thing. So what I call is AWS Cloud Optimization Framework. So this is what is it? So AWS Cloud Optimization Framework is my approach to solving all the problems that any business will run while scaling their AWS operations. So you probably have different people solve this problem in different ways. This cloud optimization framework is something that I use to solve these problems. So how did I come up with it, right? So as I said, I learned it during I worked as a cloud architect for several years. So I learned it during that time. I tested with several teams internally. I don't say it's like it is something, yeah, this is the prescriptive way that we have to do it. I keep refining my approach as I learn new things about AWS, because AWS is changing every day. So I keep refining my approach. The steps of the framework remain the same. How we do it, it keeps changing based on how AWS is changing, right? So that's how I came up with it, the AWS Cloud Optimization Framework. So how long does it take to see a result or get a result? So you're probably asking, hey, how long does it take to get the result? So the result depends on the size of your AWS operations and the commitment of the management to allocate time to this project. So if you're really committed to this, then probably in 4 to 6 weeks you will see all the results. You'll see the major results coming right, so coming up in 4 to 6 weeks. So that is the time frame that you are looking at. it all depends on how big your AWS account is, right? So and that's what it boils down to. Okay, so that's a real brief, backstory of this AWS cloud optimization framework, which I believe, in my opinion, is the best way to solve the optimization challenges. So let's see what it really is. So AWS Cloud Optimization Framework is really a five-step approach, right? The first step is gain insights. What it really means is know where we are right now. So, I mean, that's where, when the moment I look into any AWS account or any client, what I feel is we don't even know where we are. So that's what I used to be like with our product teams. We had so many instances, we don't even know what we are using for. We had some, naming conventions, some tagging, yeah, but basically we don't know what we are doing, and also where where we are spending. Either yes, the bill explains it, but the billing department or the AWS billing people, the engineers don't really go ahead and look at the bill every month, right? So it's not going to happen. So we don't even know where we are. So gain insights is the very first step as part of this whole approach, of my framework. The second thing is determine the KPIs. What does success look like? Many businesses, even when I was working as a cloud architect, right, what happened is we set on this path to reduce our costs, or optimize our workloads, you know before determining what does the success look like. So really it is very important, and this is a second step where with the management or as a team you decide what does your success look like. So that's really important. And step number three is optimize the process. So how do we want to run our operations? So we sit together, have meetings, review some checklists, best practices and stuff, and come up with a prescriptive way of doing things moving forward. So you have to optimize your process first. So that's the step number three. Step number four is optimize the workload. So most initiatives, they jump to step number four without even doing one, two, three. So that's where you end up with tactical solutions and not long term solution. So optimize workload. So what needs to be changed? So that's when we decide, hey, do we do we purchase spot instances? Do we go ahead and do there's so many ways to implement different optimizing the workload. So do we stop and start every week? So what do we do, right? Do we use sizing in AWS S3, right? What do you call the intelligent tiering? So all these things come in step number four. And finally, we have to measure the results, right? So you can't improve what you can't measure. So step number five is really measuring the results. So those are the five steps of my AWS cloud optimization framework that I use to help any AWS user to really optimize their entire AWS environment. So what's next, right? So I shared my framework. Yes, I mean there will be more content that I'm going to share on this YouTube channel, so please do subscribe to this channel so that you can learn and implement a lot of things that I'm going to share. So the next step is really what does implementation involve, right? So that's a common question. So how do you implement an optimization initiative, right? So basically it all starts with a stakeholder interview. So we interview a lot of all stakeholders in that particular department. Then what we are going to do is we are going to start implementing some AWS monitoring products, manage AWS management products. We'll have bi-weekly meetings. Then what's going to happen is we're going to do some governance, implement some AWS governance products based on, like I said, the process. Once we know the deep KPIs and process, we're going to do all this. Finally, there will be an end user training, and if you want all this to happen on site, Obviously, as I said, I'm in India. So if it is, if your company is in India, your business is in India, I mean, or you can, opt for an on-site visit. But pretty much, these are the steps that are involved in implementing a cloud optimization initiative, and then getting the results that we determine that is what success look like. So I hope you understand. I hope you got value from this video, where you saw the 5-step approach that I follow to optimize the AWS workloads. So if you like it, go ahead and like this video, and also subscribe to this channel. And thanks a lot for watching this video. And let's connect in the next video and discuss in depth on each of those steps. Thank you.